Second fanscription Mumbai, Natayorchid 12. What if fanscription made a series of videos that were sequels to the episode Abracadaver, the original, with the episodes playing out like this? Episode 1. After being hypnotized by abracadaver, Blossom wakes up after he is defeated and turns against her sisters, possibly going insane, and becomes a magician's assistant. Themed villainess. Episode 2. 2 weeks after Blossom falls back into a state of deep hypnosis and she turned to crime. Big magic themed search spree began. She then fought her sisters, and during the fight she pulls out a pan flute, and as she begins to play Bubbles begins to dance and team up with Blossom by dancing like Las Vegas showgirls, literally kicking Buttercup's butt by means of kick line hard enough to knock her out. As they dance off into the night, we'd get a scene where Bubbles can't stop dancing and Blossom tells her that she secretly is envious of her, because she's now has a pretty feminine persona and that Bubbles doesn't have to be jealous anymore, as she stares into her eyes. And when Buttercup finally wakes up and tracks them down, Blossom has done to Bubbles what abracadaver had done to her. Bubbles was now a magician's assistant. Themed villainess. A fight breaks out. Blossom and Bubbles defeat Buttercup in a fight and fly off to celebrate with a crime spree. As the narrator tells the audience that there's one final part of the story. Episode 3. It had been 3 weeks since Blossom fell into a state of deep hypnosis, turned to crime, as she became a magician's assistant. Themed villainess, and was able to hypnotize Bubbles, enthralling her and turning her into a magician's assistant. Themed villainess. As well, Buttercup had fought her sisters on and off for 3 weeks straight, and in their final battle Blossom pulls out a magic top hat, as Bubbles points it like a true magician's assistant. Blossom pulls Buttercup out of the top, and in doing so Buttercup is suddenly wearing a bunny costume. The fight continues, as Buttercup refuses to be their prop, but then Blossom and Bubbles trap in a magic box, and when they open it, Buttercup walks out completely hypnotized, now a magician's assistant. Villainous. The episode would end with the narrator saying that this is the final episode and that the Powerpuff Girls are now the Utonian sisters, and that abracadaver was truly the end of the Powerpuff Girls and the show is officially over. I ran your description through ChatGPT and this is what it gave me. Episode 1. Blossom's betrayal. After her encounter with abracadaver, Blossom awakens, but not as herself. The magic that once defeated her now courses through her veins, warping her mind and allegiance. She turns against her sisters, adopting a new persona as a magician's assistant. Themed villainess. Her costume, a dazzling array of sequins and capes, mirrors her descent into madness. Her strategies become unpredictable, incorporating illusions and trickery that confound her former allies. Blossom's transformation is not just a change of side but a profound shift in her identity, as she fully embraces her new role with a sinister glee. Episode 2, The Dance of Deception. 2 weeks into her villainous spree, Blossom ensnares Bubbles into her twisted world through a hypnotic dance, induced by a pan flute's enchanting melodies. Bubbles, unable to resist the compelling music, joins Blossom in a spectacle reminiscent of Las Vegas showgirls, their performance a mesmerizing blend of grace and aggression. As they defeat Buttercup with a theatrical flourish, the scene is set for a deeper exploration of their dynamics. Blossom reveals her envy of Bubbles' innate charm and femininity, a rare moment of vulnerability that twists into manipulation, as she hypnotizes Bubbles, binding her into the role of a magician's assistant-themed villainess. Their sisterhood, once their greatest strength, now becomes their most tragic battlefield. Episode 3, The Utonium Sisters. The final confrontation unfolds with high stakes and deep emotion. Buttercup, relentless in her pursuit to save her sisters, faces them in a climactic battle. However, the magic that has ensnared her siblings proves overpowering. The transformation of Buttercup, through a magic top hat trick, into a bunny costumed assistant marks the complete fall of the Powerpuff Girls. The narrative crescendos, as they trap Buttercup in a magic box, from which she emerges fully hypnotized, a final addition to their magician-themed villainy. The series concludes with a somber note from the narrator, declaring the end of the Powerpuff Girls and their rebirth as the Utonium Sisters, marking a definitive close to their story, as we knew it. The reimagined trilogy is a bold departure from the original Powerpuff Girls narrative, embracing darker themes and the complexities of mind control, identity, and sisterhood. The transformation of Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup into villainous characters not only challenges their heroic legacy but also delves into the psychological impact of betrayal and manipulation among siblings. As the series concludes, the audience is left to ponder the irreversible consequences of magic gone awry and the thin line between good and evil. Ashen Grunge Pun K999's Avatar. Ashen Grunge Pun K999. They are slaves now, yes?